Good evening, everyone. This is Robert from RGL 518. It's time for Payoff Pitch 1985 as my 85 season continues. We're now about to play the last game of this block, of the first block of games that I have scheduled. And a new schedule for the next few games will be put into the Payoff Pitch Gamers Network. Today's date is April 22nd. And we are at the Astrodome. It's the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Houston Astros. The Reds are 7-4. The Astros are 9-3 in this big game here at our early big season contest here at the Astrodome. For those of you who don't remember, the last time these two teams play each other was, it was the last three games of the 1994 season. And all the Astros had to do was win one game out of three. And I actually played all three games of that last game of the season. And all the Astros had to do was win one game out of three, and they win the National League Central. But the Cincinnati Reds of 94 took that away. They swept the Astros in the Astrodome. And the Reds, of course, went on to win the National League Central in my 1994 season restart as Bob B joins me here at the Astrodome. And as I said, Bob B, all my games are listed. If you want to check out any of the real good games that were played in my 1994 season restart, check them out. But now we turn the clock back to 1985. This is April 22nd. It will be Jay Tibbs versus Mike Scott. So this is a big early season contest. As I said, the Reds are 7-4. The Astros are 9-3 after going through the first couple of weeks of quick results, of course, with the 10-minute ticker as such. And the actual score of this game, Houston actually won this game 4-1. So on that date, but anything can happen. And so far, a lot of payoff pitch games have not gone the way they actually went. So who knows what's going to happen. Starting pitcher for the Houston Astros will be Mike Scott. He's still at this is not the 86 Mike Scott, but 85 Mike Scott. Still pretty darn good. 18-8 with a 3.29 ERA. He gets the call tonight for the Astros. Let's get things started underway as we begin a big game here at the Astrodome. Leading off for the Astros will be second baseman Bill Doran. He batted, of course, Scott is a right-hander. Doran batted .280 with 9 homers against rights. Let's get the game underway. Tough 15, and that's going to be a quick strikeout on Doran. One man down. That's one way to lead it off with a K by Mike Scott. He averaged 5.6 strikeouts per 9. I'm sorry, not Doran. I said, I have the wrong, darn it. Timeout, earthquake. Here I am saying Bill Doran, and how can Mike Scott go against Bill Doran? So give me a moment here, earthquake, as I had the wrong players all set up. Not a great start. Earthquake in Houston. Timeout on the field as we have a rain delay inside the dome. It's leaking. That's going to be one of those nights. Let's see here. Well, that's embarrassing to start the day, won't you say? Huh? Can't be Bill Doran. Let's see here. Not off to a good start. Eddie Milner actually is the batter. I'm still checking to see if the dice still hold anyway. Chicky. Let's see here. Concepcion and Foley. That's better. Had the wrong. Eddie Milner, and that instead is not a strikeout. That's Eddie Milner, actually. And that is still, I'm going to keep the same dice roll. I'll re-roll the dice. We'll re-roll it. Eddie Milner, the batter for the Reds. He batted .259 against rights. We'll do this again. Mike Scott, tough, 61, and that's a fly ball to left. So it's still an out, but now it's a fly to left. There we go. Now we can play ball. Now we can do this right. This is supposed to be professional. Here is Pete Rose. He batted .253 with 2 homers against rights. Player manager, of course. Scott with the pitch. That is a tough 77, and it's a ground out to second base. That'll be taken care of by Bill Doran, who's actually in the field. And now right fielder Dave Parker. Parker batted .327, 27 homers against rights. Scott, tough, 57, and that's a ground ball to first. That'll get picked up by Walling, and the inning is over. He'll take it himself. Nothing for the Reds. The Reds are 0-1 so far in payoff pitch play, as they lost to the Mets earlier. As they lost to the Mets, and the Astros are 1-0 in payoff pitch play, as they shut the Dodgers out when I had them play the Los Angeles Dodgers. Larry Harris joins me here now joins me here at the Astrodome. Starting pitcher for the Reds will be Jay Tibbs. He was 10-16 with a 3.92 ERA. Yes, he was the starting pitcher for the Reds against the Mets, against Dwight Gooden. Bottom of the first, leading off for the Astros now will be second baseman Bill Doran, batted .280 with 9 homers against rights, as we now get everything all situated. Yes, Tibbs did pitch in the last Reds game. He went up against Gooden. They both came up with no decisions. The Mets had to win that game 6-4 late in the game. Tibbs ate as a tough 82, and that's going to be a fly out to center field for out number 1. That'll get played by Milner. One man down here is Kevin Bass. Bass bats .241 against rights, 6 homers. Tibbs with the pitch, tough 13. That's a strikeout. We'll see if Tibbs has a better outing this time. As yes, that is correct, as Bob B is paying attention to my videos. Next batter, first baseman Denny Walling. He is at first for this game. Remember, these are the as-played lineups. Tibbs with the pitch. Ballpark 69. That's going to be an in-play at the Astrodome. And an in-play 74 is a ground out to short. And that'll be taken care of by Dave Concepcion, who will throw to first for the final out. And a 1-2-3 inning for both teams. Nothing doing in this big early season contest between the Reds and the Astros. As I said, Cincinnati 7-4. The Astros are 9-3. They are off to a great start. Here is Mike Scott. He'll pitch the top of the second. Leading off for the Red Legs will be the left fielder, Cesar Cedeno. Scott's pitch. In play, 99, fly out to left. And that'll get taken care of by Cruz. One man down. Next up is third baseman Wayne Krenchicki. Scott's pitch. Tough, 25. That's going to be a single for Krenchicki. Base hit. As he hits that one into center field, Krenchicki will hold at first. Here is Dave Concepcion. Concepcion bats .255 against rights. Krenchicki on at first. No steal or anything like that on. Do I use the FACs for fly ball depth or do I roll the dice? I don't use the FAC. I only call for fly ball depth if I need to. The actual rules are used. Wheelhouse is a runner's advance, that kind of thing. I use the FACs for fly ball depth if I have to, which is like outfield here or something. Krenchicki on at first, Scott the pitcher. Tough, 76. And that's a fly ball to center field. That'll be taken care of by Mumphrey for out number 2. Krenchicki stays at first. Here's the second baseman, Tom Foley. Pitch from Mike Scott. Tough, 29. Struck him out. Big strikeout on Foley, and the single doesn't do any damage. One hit for the Reds, but that is all they get. As maybe this Astros team looking for a little payback on Cincinnati for being swept in my 94 restart to end that season. Tibbs coming back on the mound, And here is for Houston. That will be the left fielder, Jose Cruz. Tibbs, in play 62. And that's a ground ball to third. That'll get picked up by Krenchicki. He will throw him out at first base. Next batter is Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey is in center field for this ball game. He batted .293 against rights. Tibbs' pitch. That's a tough 48, and that's a ground ball right back to Tibbs. He will take it and toss it over to first for out number 2. Here is the third baseman, Phil Garner. He gets the start today. He did not get the start in the last game for the Astros. Garner is at third. Bats .267 against rights. Tibbs, defense check 09. That's not going to be good. Range check to center field. The ball is hit to Milner. His range is an A, but it won't matter. A 1-39 is a hit. That's an 09. Garner has himself a single. At least, let's find out if that is it is. And yes, it is a single 2 stars. So Garner does have a base hit as he hit that Milner just out of Milner's reach. He has great range out there, but he doesn't get it that time. Next batter will be Alan Ashby. Here's the catcher. And 9 years in the future. Exactly. Don't think these guys these 85 these guys in 1985 haven't forgotten what happened in 1994. Trust me, they know. They know what happened 9 years from now. Tibbs with the pitch. Patient 86. And that will be a ground ball to short, picked up by Concepcion. And he is going to throw to first to get Ashby out, and the inning is over. Nothing for the Astros, although they do get a hit. At the end of 2, we got no score. Yeah, I don't think they know. They remember. You can ask Mike Scott, hey, Mike, do you know what happened to the Astros 9 years from now? Yeah, I certainly do. We're going to get some revenge for what happened. We're going to get revenge for something that happened that hasn't happened yet. Okay, that makes sense. Top of the third inning. Here is Dan Billardello, the catcher for Cincinnati. He will lead it off. Scott with the pitch. In play, 06. That's going to be a clean single by Billardello. He will trot down to first. That's the one thing about payoff. That's one of the things about payoff pitch that gets me a little bit miffed. In payoff pitch, you can have an A rating as a range player with range. But it depends on what ballpark you're in. It doesn't really matter the fielder. The fielder does come into play, but in the ballpark, okay, you can be the best, but look at the range. A 1-39, a chance is a miss to not get that, and you got an A range. That is the one thing about payoff pitch that gets me a little bit iffy, where an inside pitch, it's all about the fielder. The ballpark does not come into effect on the fielder. It doesn't matter where they play. It's the fielder that makes the play, not the ballpark. Like I said, inside pitch and payoff pitch, love them both equally. They both have their ins and outs. Billardello on at first. Here is the pitcher, Jay Tibbs. And the sacrifice will be on, so Tibbs will lay down the bunt, which means we just draw a card for the sacrifice bunt. His bunt rating is a C, and that is a lead bunt. That's not good. The lead runner is going to be out. So Jay Tibbs bunts it, and it's not a good bunt, and that is bunted to – that's bunted to the pitcher, isn't it? I believe on that play. Let's see. I believe that's bunted to the pitcher. Let me see. Yep, that's bunted to the pitcher, to Scott. He turns around, throws to second to get Billardello. So that sacrifice does not work. So that is a fielder's choice, and Tibbs is on at first. Yeah, inside pitch, base running rules, and payoff pitch. There are certain things about payoff pitch, but like I said, if you could combine both games, you would have the best game you could get. Tibbs on at first now. Here is Eddie Milner, who will now bat. He is 0 for 1. No steal attempt, of course. Scott will swing away. And that's a wheelhouse 81 and fly ball center field. It's not deep enough. Mumphrey will get to that one. That's out number 2. Scott pitches a bad ball, but Milner can't take advantage of it. 2 men out. Tibbs still on at first. Here is Pete Rose. How about the 77 Angels? Yeah, beating the Phillies. How about that? They beat the best team. And I'll tell you, the Cubs almost gave the Yankees a run for their money today. Check that game out if you haven't yet. Mike Scott's pitch, tough, 44, and that will be a pop out to second, and we'll end the inning. No runs for the Reds. They do get a hit. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score between these two. Tomorrow on Inside Pitch, I got the Mets and the Red Sox. And you know those 1977 Red Sox want to get revenge for what the Mets did to them in 86. I hate to say this, but the 77 Cardinals were one and gone. I am sorry to say. The 77 Cardinals are one and gone. They were eliminated by the Milwaukee Brewers in the first round. I am sorry to tell you that. The game is on there, so you might want to check it. All my games are available to watch. Jay Tibbs will pitch the bottom of the third. And here is Craig Reynolds. He is at shortstop for this game. Oh, they weren't that terrible. I mean, they were 83 and 99. They were not terrible, but the Brewers beat them out in that game. And then the Brewers get beaten by Baltimore in the second round. Jay Tibbs' pitch, defense 73. That should be okay. And a defense rare play comes up. Wonderful. So we go to the rare play chart, but under defense rare play, which I do use in case that comes up. So let's go to defense rare play, and we will re-roll. And that is an 11. Fielder makes highlight reel catch while falling in the dugout, stands. Batter out, runners hold, check fielder for injury. So now I got to find out the fielder, and that was the second baseman. Really? The second baseman ran all the way. Check fielder for injury. So the second baseman for Cincinnati is Foley. And I will check for an injury, and his injury rating is normal. So I will roll for injury on that. I will roll for injury. Give me a moment as soon as I find the chart, which is here someplace. So injury chart, let's see if he's okay. His rating is normal. He is 95, injured plus 10 games. Okay, well, since I go ahead and play as played lineups, I'll take him out for the game, but he will not, of course, be injured for that amount because we play as played lineups. But Tom Foley of the Cincinnati Reds is done for the game. He is injured out. So, and of course, Craig Reynolds is out as well. So that would be a pop out to second. But Foley is out. He is second base, so I got to bring in somebody else now for the Reds to play that position. And let's see. That will be Ron Oster. Ron Oster is their main second baseman. He was not in the lineup for today's game, but he will be now. Oster will take over. He's actually a better second baseman. But he will now take over at second base, and he will bat seventh. Finals lost the 2015 Cardinals 4-2. Oh, wow, okay. 77 Red Sox. I know my Mets. The Mets actually won the first round. We beat the Twins. I don't expect my Mets to beat the Red Sox tomorrow. But then again, when it's one game for all the marbles, you never know. Here is Mike Scott. He will bat for the first time, the pitcher. Tibbs in play, 45. And ground ball to third. That'll be picked up by Krenchicki, out number 2. So throw to first. Here's Bill Doran. Pitch from Tibbs. In play 90. Ground ball to short. Coming up with that will be Concepcion. He will throw to first for the out. And another 1-2-3 inning. So Jay Tibbs is already pitching better than he did in the game against the Mets. 3 innings in the books. We got no score. Top of the 4th coming up. Remember, I do have the Mets Red Sox game next game. Had after Goltz. Yeah, it was the Mets was Goltz who the Mets beat. They beat Dave Goltz in that game they played against the Twins. But yes, we have inside pitch. We have the Mets and Red Sox for that tournament. And tomorrow night on Payoff Pitch, it will be the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago White Sox, the World Series champions from 1994. They get their first look for 1985. So I do know that the 1985 White Sox want to make sure the 1994 Red Sox are proud of them, even though they don't think they won anything yet. But then again, what do they know? Mike Scott back on the mound, top of the 4th. Here is Dave Parker for the Reds. Got to be careful with time. Time is tricky. Scott's pitch. Tough. 51. Ground ball right back to Scott. He will take care of that and throw to first for out number 1. Here is Cesar Cedeno. Scott with the pitch. That's an in-play 15, and that is a base hit. Cedeno smacks that one into center field. He will trot down to first. And now we'll see Wayne Krenchicki, nothing on Strat Dice. So runners will stay. 1 out. When is Tudor pitching for the 85 Cardinals? Don't know. I don't know. I think I got the Cardinals a game later, but I don't know if he's listed yet. Like I said, these games are selected intentionally by record, and every team at least gets a look-see before I go to the next block. So I don't know when Tudor will be pitching, but you will find out. Just look at the Payoff Pitch Gamers Network. You'll see the schedule and the lineups. Scott's pitch. Tough. 98. That's a fly ball to right. Krenchicki flies out for the second out. And here's Dave Concepcion. Concepcion is 0 for 1. It's a possibility I might never have a game with Tudor pitching. You never know, but I don't think that'll happen. Tudor pitched a lot of games. I'm pretty sure we'll see him at least once or twice. Tough. 49. Ground ball to first base. Walling will make that play, and that will end the inning. Again, the Reds get nothing, and they do get a hit. It's still scoreless at the end of 3.5. How about that? Jay Tibbs will come back out. And here is Kevin Bass for Houston in the bottom of the 4th. And my voice sounds a little strained. It is. That's what happens when you do too many of these games. I should take a break, but I'm having fun. In play, 47. Wow, Bass just missed that one. He pops out to first. Put away by Pete Rose. Charlie Hustle, 1 out. Who should be in the Hall of Fame. Here is Denny Walling. Tough. 26. And what we got here? That is a pop out. That's a pop out to second base. 2 outs. And that's put away by Oster. Makes the play. 2 down. And now Jose Cruz. In play 20. That's right on the board. I hate it when it does that. But 24, 26, that make a difference. No, it does not. That's going to be a base hit anyway. Single for Cruz. He will hold down to first base. And now Jerry Mumphrey. 2 outs. Cruz not running anywhere. The pitch from Tibbs. In play 21. That's going to be a single from Mumphrey. Cruz has a run rating of 5. I have to draw the card. It's a hard grounder into right field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So Cruz will have to hold it second. Base hit by Mumphrey. With a run rating of 5, it's not an automatic going to third with 2 outs, so I have to draw the card. And now the Astros got a chance to get a run here. Here is Phil Garner. Pitch from Tibbs. Tough. 31. That's a wild pitch. Jay Tibbs throws a wild pitch. That will move the runners up by 1 spot as he throws it to the backstop. And now you take the actual roll. 631, that is a tough. And that is going to be a triple for Phil Garner. Tough 31 against the righty is a triple. Cruz will score. Mumphrey will score. Garner to third. The Astros finally break through. 2-0 Stros. Phil Garner comes through with a big triple. Even though the wild pitch becomes redundant, but you still call it. 2-0 Astros. Here is Alan Ashby as the fans here at the Astrodome get excited on that one. The Astros finally break 3. Here's the pitch to Ashby. Ballpark 27, that is going to be on. He is hitting from the left side. That's going to be in play. In play 31 for Ashby, and that's going to be a single for Ashby. Base hit. Garner will come in to score as he smacks that one into left field. Tibbs was dealing, but not anymore. And now 3-0 Astros as Mr. Tibbs was dealing, but now he's finally drawn some jokers. Ashby on first. Here is Craig Reynolds. They'll go talk to Tibbs for a moment, try to settle him down. That's 4 straight base hits given up by Tibbs. Here's the pitch. That's an in-play 78, and that will be a fly out to center, and that will take care of the inning. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Astros at the end of 4. The guys in the rainbow-colored jerseys are leading 3-0. Best uniforms in base. As much as I am a Mets fan, I love the Mets. That's my team. I love them. But the 70s and 80s Astros, best uniforms in baseball history. Those orange, yellow, and red stripe uniforms, best uniforms ever. Tell me I'm wrong. Top of the 5th, Mike Scott will be dealing with Ron Oster. He's playing second base in place of Foley, and Oster bats .302 against rights in 85. Scott with the pitch. Wheelhouse 60 single. Oster gets a base hit. He smacks that one into right field. He will hold it first. And the batter will be Dan Billardello. Nothing happening on Strat. Although the sacrifice is on, but you're down by 3 runs, so you're not sacrificing. So Billardello will hit. Scott, patient, 88. Ground ball to shortstop. Billardello's double play rating is a 9. Scott's is a 6. That's a 4. They will turn 2. Shortstop, second to first, double play. Maybe they should have sacrificed. The 6-4-3, 2 outs. And the batter will be Tibbs. That's a tough 10, and Tibbs strikes out, of course. And that ends the inning. No runs and a hit for the Reds. The Astros are leading 3-0 here in the Astrodome. Bottom of the fifth. And Mike Scott leads off for Houston. So they go ahead and flip the deck for the second half of the game. And that is a 9. That's a patient 85. That's a ground out to short. Easy play made by Concepcion. Throws to first for out number 1. Bill Doran will take a hack. He's 0 for 2. Tough 0-7. Struck him out. 2 down. Doran goes down on strikes. He's 0 for 3 tonight now. And that will bring up Kevin Bass. Tibbs deals. Tough 83. Fly ball center field. And that will be taken care of by Milner. And he puts it away. And that will end the inning. So nothing there for the Reds at the end of 5. It's still 3-0 Astros. Top of the 6th coming up. Mike Scott's fatigue inning actually is the 6th inning. He did not go deep many times. His complete game, he only had 4 complete games in 85. So his fatigue inning is 6, but he's pitching strong. He's dealing a shutout. And here is Eddie Milner, leads off the top of the 6th. Tough 58. Fly ball left field. Cruz will make that play, out number 1. Here is Pete Rose. I got a rant. Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame, especially now that you allow A.J. Hinch and Alex Cora to come back to baseball and manage. They were cheating, and you let them come back to baseball. Why is Pete Rose still not in the Hall of Fame now? If I'm Pete Rose, I file a major grievance right now against Rob Manfred. He needs to be in the Hall. A.J. Hinch and Alex Cora were let go by their teams for involved in a cheating scandal. 1 year later, Cora's now back with the Red Sox, and Hinch is now with the Tigers. If I'm Pete Rose, I'm furious about that. Pete Rose bet on baseball. Okay. Those guys are trash can bangers. Why are they back in baseball? I don't understand. You know, Manfred, I tell you, I really don't know. I really don't know. Sorry, had to rant. I just don't understand that at all. Scott will pitch to Rose. Tough 60. Ground ball to first. That'll get taken care of by Walling, and the inning is over. Reds pick up nothing as Mike Scott is pitching a gem. I wonder if I should take Mike Scott outright. My name is Kevin Cash. I think I should take out Mike Scott. Yeah, I guess I should take him out, right? Yeah, sure. Manfred's the worst commissioner in the history of sports. Right now, I hate to say it, he might just be. And I thought Roger Goodell was bad. I love baseball. I can't get enough of baseball. I thought Roger Goodell in the NFL was bad. Manfred's worse. You allowing 2 cheaters to come back to baseball. Kennesaw Mountain Landis, although he was unfortunately against the black people from playing baseball, but Kennesaw Mountain Landis had it right. He got rid of everybody. Although Shoeless Joe Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame because he really was not involved in it. But Rose needs to be in the Hall. Shoeless Joe Jackson needs to be in the Hall. And Barry Bonds needs to be in the Hall. There's no hard evidence he actually took stuff. But McGuire admitted it. Palmeiro admitted it. Palmeiro admitted it. You know, they admitted it. But Bonds did not, and there's no actual proof he did. Bonds needs to be in the Hall, but no. Like I said, but if you're going to allow Mark McGwire or those guys in the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose and the ghost of Shoeless Joe Jackson better be waiting for them at the front door. That's my rant for the day. I'm done. Bottom of the 6th inning, here's Denny Walling leading off against Jay Tibbs. His fatigue inning is a 7. This will be his last inning, I'm sure. Shoeless Joe Jackson needs the Hall. Shoeless Joe Jackson was the Willie Mays of his time. He was the best at that time. He was the Willie Mays of his day. Before there was Babe Ruth, there was Shoeless Joe Jackson. Man needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Manfred won't overturn Kennesaw Mountain Landis. You know what? In that case, Kennesaw was wrong. Walling. Jay Tibbs pitches ballpark 11. That's going to be a wheelhouse for Walling. A wheelhouse 15, and Walling just mashed that one. That is gone. Home run, Denny Walling. Jay Tibbs pitches him a meatball, and Walling turns it into lasagna. That is a goner. Home run, Denny Walling. He had 7 homers against rights, and he definitely got one on that one. Not many homers at the Astrodome, but when you hit them, they're gone. 4-0 Houston. The batter now is Jose Cruz. Cruz 1 for 2. Another ballpark check, 44. That will be in play. In play, 35. Single for Cruz. He hits that one into center field. He will trot down to first. Cruz is 2 for 3. Here's Jerry Mumphrey. The Reds bullpen getting ready to probably take Tibbs out. Oh, you're juicing. Well, you know, like I said, perhaps, but, you know, maybe he was working out. Like I said, there's no proof. And he never admitted it. I just don't know. I mean, Bonds, I want to put him in so bad. I really do. McGwire, Palmeiro, Clemens, they admitted it. Bonds never did. Cruz on at first base. Tibbs will pitch. Patient 89. What do we got here? Ground ball to short. Mumphrey's double play rating is a 7. Tibbs is a 7. That's a 9. Cruz will be out at second base. Mumphrey makes it to first. That's a fielder's choice. Here's Phil Garner. Mumphrey on at first. Tibbs with the pitch. Defense 47 could be interesting. Range check to short. The ball is hit to Concepcion. His range is a D. He's not going to make that play. That's going to be a hit. And that is going to be, that's a grounder to short. So that's going to be a single and 1 base. So Mumphrey will head to second and stay there with 1 out. So Garner is now 3 for 3 as he gets one past Concepcion. Here's Alan Ashby. 1 out. Astros leading 4-0 on the Reds. They originally won this game 4-1. They're trying to let Tibbs pitch to see if he can get out of this inning, but if he allows another run, this will probably be it. Tibbs with the pitch. Tough, 79. Fly ball center field. Milner will make the catch for out number 2. And now Craig Reynolds with runners at first and second, 2 outs now. Tibbs with the pitch. In play 43. That's a base hit for Reynolds. It's a single. Mumphrey, a run rating of 6. He will score from second. Garner, run rating of 6, will make third. Reynolds on at first. 5-0 Astros. And the Astros are doing their job against this Reds team. And that will be it for Jay. Oh, the next batter is Mike Scott. He's the pitcher, and the Astros will let him bat. Because my name is not Kevin Cash. Runners at first and third. Tibbs will pitch to Scott, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. This will be Tibbs, I'm sure, his last batter. Ballpark 95, that's an in play. In play 03, you got to be kidding me. Mike Scott just smacked a double off of Tibbs. Wow. Mike Scott gets a double. Garner will come in to score. Reynolds with a run rating of 7. He will score all the way from first. And Mike Scott is on second base. And it is now 7-0 Astros. And right now, I think Mr. Tibbs has left the building. Bill Doran is the batter. Tibbs is coming out. Now they got to. Mike Scott hits a double. We'll see a new pitcher for the Reds. And they are going to bring in Bill Doran at bat. They're going to bring in Ted Power to try to shut the game down a bit. Ted Power will pitch to Bill Doran here. 7-0 Astros. Another blowout in the making, it looks like, guys. Sorry about that. I was hoping for a better game between these two. Power will pitch. Tough. 15, struck him out. And that will end the inning, finally. The Astros, 4 runs on 5 hits. At the end of 6, the Astros commanded over the Reds. 7-0. They lead it by a touchdown. Top of the 7th coming up. Scott will pitch because my name is not Kevin Cash. I'm not going to take a pitcher out. Here is Dave Parker leading off for the Reds. And it looks like the Astros are getting some payback from what will happen 9 years later. Scott will pitch. In play, 11. That's going to be a leadoff double by Parker. Smacks that one to left field. And he will trot to second base easily. And bring up Cesar Cedeno. Scott will pitch to Cedeno. Tough. 53. Line drive hit right to short. 1 out. Line out to short. And now Wayne Krenchicki will take a shot. Scott with the pitch. Patient 39. He walked him. Krenchicki goes to first. On a walk. That's only the first walk given up by Scott. He averages 3.3 walks per 9. Only the first walk. Can the Reds do anything with this right now? Here's Dave Concepcion. Runners at first and second. 1 out. They're in business. Big at bat coming up. Astro bullpen getting warmed up. But they'll continue to see with Scott. Patient 32. That's a walk. And now the bases are loaded. Mike Scott now gives up a second straight walk. And the batter now is Ron Oster. Oh, bases loaded now with 1 out. The Astros will play the infield back. They'll try to turn the 2. You're up 7-0. They will stick with Scott. He is not fatigued yet. He hasn't given up any runs. Mike Scott on the mound. First real chance for the Reds in this game. Scott's pitch. Tough. 89. Ground ball to short. Double play rating 7. Double play rating 6. It's an 8. It is not going to be a double play. So Parker will come in to score. Krenchicki will go to third. Concepcion is out at second. They try to turn 2. Oster beats the throw. And the Reds are on the board, though. It is now 7-1, but there are 2 outs. The batter now is Dan Billardello, and I think we'll see a pinch hitter for Billardello. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Billardello is the catcher. Dave Van Gorder is going to come. I think I'm going to have Van Gorder come up. Let's see. This is what, 7th inning? So I actually got to go at bat. I got to go by at bats. Dave Van Gorder is going to take over at catcher. Billardello will come out, but Nick Asaski will pinch hit. Runners at first and third. Nick Asaski trying to give the Reds something to cheer about here. They're down 7-1 to the Astros. 2 outs. Scott still on the mound. Here's the pitch to Asaski. Defense check 63. Could be interesting. Error check to third base. The ball is hit to Garner. His error rating is a 1. That's a 1-74. That's going to be an error on Phil Garner. Youch. That is an E5. Let's see what happens in the error. It is a 1-base error. So Krenchicki scores on the error. Oster goes to second, and Asaski on at first. And it's now 7-2 as Phil Garner forgot how to play third base for a play. Ted Power is the pitcher. He's due to bat. But, of course, he's not going to bat. They'll bring in another pinch hitter for the Reds. Got a righty, and they will bring in Gary Reedus. He will pinch hit against Scott now with runners at first and second and 2 outs, but now it's a 7-2 ball game. Scott staying out there. He's not fatigued yet. Another run, though, he will be. But that run was not Scott's fault. That was an error on Phil Garner. Pitch from Scott. It's a tough 21. Struck him out. And that will end the inning. Reds get 2 runs on only 1 hit, a couple of walks, and an error. We are at the 7th inning stretch. And the Astros are leading it 7-2. And I will be right back with the 10-minute ticker. We'll now clear the board for the 10-minute ticker. And let's see how the rest of baseball does today. And tomorrow, of course. The date is April 22. Let's see what happens. We're starting a 10-minute ticker. Oakland at California. That is a win for the A's. They'll win that game 8-0. Milwaukee at Chicago White Sox. 7, win for the White Sox, win that game 5-1. Detroit at Cleveland. The Indians, nope, that's a win for Detroit. They win that game 5-0. That was a 10, and they get the Indians out. Seattle at Minnesota. That's a 12. That's a win for the Mariners. They beat the Twins 8-5. Baltimore at Texas. That's a win for the Orioles, 2-0 on the Rangers. Kansas City at Toronto. That's a win for the Royals. They win that game 5-4. Cincinnati and Houston were playing. Philadelphia at Montreal. That's an 11. That's a win for the Expos. They win that game 6-3. Chicago Cubs at Pittsburgh. That's a win for the Cubbies, 7-0. Atlanta at San Diego. That's a 6. That's a win for the Padres. They win that game 6-1. Los Angeles at San Francisco. That's a 5. Dodgers win the game 5-3. Finally, New York Mets at St. Louis Cardinals, which I know Bob B will be watching here. Both the Mets and Cardinals are ranked A. And that's a win for the Mets. They win that game 5-3. They roll a 5. Now we do tomorrow's games. April 23rd, Oakland at California. That's a 5. It's a win for the A's, 9-0. Milwaukee at Chicago White Sox. 6, a win for the Brewers, 3-0. Detroit at Cleveland. That's a 5. That's a win for the Tigers, 5-4. Seattle at Minnesota. An 8. Twins take that game, 4-3. Boston Red Sox at New York Yankees. That's a 6. It's a win for the Red Sox, 8-1. So I'm pretty sure Al Red Sox fans somewhere just cheered. Baltimore at Texas. That's a 10. It's a win for the Orioles, 9-3. Kansas City at Toronto. That's a 7. It's a win for the Blue Jays, 8-6. Cincinnati at Houston, we will roll that score as soon as this game is over. Philadelphia at Montreal. That's a 2. It's a win for the Phillies. They win that game 2-1. Chicago Cubs at Pittsburgh. That's a 7. The Cubs will win that game. I'm going to say 1-0. Atlanta at San Diego. Scores really don't mean anything. That's an 8. That is going to be a win for the Padres and win that game 8-6. Los Angeles at San Francisco. That's a win for the Dodgers. They win that game 4-2, as they should. They are an A grade. The Giants are an F grade. And once again, the Mets taking on the Cardinals. That's an 8. That's a win for the Cardinals. They win that game 7-2. And that is the 10-minute ticker for today. And you'll, of course, see tomorrow's game is the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago White Sox. If your team won today, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always the next cup. There's always today the next 10-minute ticker. Timeout to reset. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. In this game, the Astros are leading the Reds 7-2. The Reds do need a pitcher. Leading off for the Astros will be Kevin Bass. And coming on to pitch for the Reds will be Tom Hume. He'll come in and pitch. 3-5, 3.26 ERA against Bass. 7-2 Astros. Bottom of the seventh inning as we return to our game. Hume. And that is a tough 83. Fly ball center field. That'll get taken care of by Milner. And that is out number 1. Now we'll see Denny Walling. He hit a home run his last time up. Hume's pitch. Tough. 33. And that's a pop out to second base for out number 2. That's taken care of by Oster. And here's Jose Cruz. Tough. 0-4. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Tom Hume goes ahead and gets the Astros retired in order. And at the end of 7, it is still 7-2 Stros. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Leading off for the Reds will be Eddie Milner. Mike Scott, I still have out there. I wonder if I should go to the pen. 7-2. He actually got hit a little bit. Let's see if he can pitch a little longer. He's not given up 3 runs yet. Let's see if he can do it. My name is not Kevin Cash. Scott will pitch to Milner. Tough. 87. Grounder to second base. And Doran will throw to first for out number 1. Here is Charlie Hustle. Scott in play, 60. Ground ball to first. That'll be taken care of easily by Walling. He'll tag the bag himself for out number 2. And here is Dave Parker. Parker had a double his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Scott's pitch. Tough. 24. Base hit. Dave Parker gets a single. Hits that one into center field. Parker gets his second hit of the night. And now Cesar Cedeno. Parker not stealing or anything like that. You're down by 5 runs. You need base runners. Pitch from Scott. In play, 61. And that's a fly ball to right field. And Kevin Bass will get to that one. And he makes the catch. And the inning is over. 1 hit for the Reds, but that is it. 7-2 Astros. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, Tom Hume will pitch. And here is Jerry Mumphrey for Houston. He is 1 for 3. Hume will pitch. Patient, 80. Fly ball center field, and Milner will make the catch for out number 1. Next batter is Phil Garner. He made that error, but he's having a great night tonight, though. He's 3 for 3, even though he made the error, but he's 3 for 3. 2 singles and a triple. Pitch. Ballpark, 23. That's good against a righty. That is a wheelhouse for Garner. Wheelhouse, 84 is a single. Garner goes ahead and gets his 4th hit tonight. He may have made an error, but he is 4 for 4. Here is Alan Ashby with 1 out. Astros not doing anything on the bases. Hume's pitch. Defense, 86. That should be all right. Range check left field. That's Cedeno. His range is a B. His range is a B. That's an 86, and he will make the play. That is an out. It is a short fly ball. Garner, of course, holds at first base for 2, and so that is the second out. As that's why I'll go in and out on the plays here. So that is a fly ball to left. 2 outs now. Garner still at first. And here is Craig Reynolds. Pitch from Hume. Patient, 54. Ground ball to first. That'll get taken care of by Pete Rose. He'll take it himself and end the inning. No runs, a hit for the Astros. At the end of 7, I'm at the end of 8, it is still 7-2. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Wayne Krenchicki is due to pitch against Mike Scott. Scott only had 4 complete games in 1985. He's given up 2 runs. Is anybody in my chat? Make a call. Do we let Mike Scott try to complete the game, or do I take him out? Somebody make a call for me. We're going to the top of the 9th inning, 7-2 Astros. Do we see if Mike Scott completes the game, or do I take him out? He's not fatigued yet. Anybody make a call for me? Sebastian Stratt says keep him in. Very well. So Mike Scott will go for the complete game. He will come out if he gives up a run, because then he'll be fatigued. Mike Scott against Krenchicki. Patient, 14. Not off to a good start. That's a walk. He goes to first. That's the 3rd walk given up by Scott. And the batter now is Dave Concepcion. But still, he has to give up a run. Krenchicki on at first, not doing anything. There's the pitch to Concepcion. That's another patient, 23, and another walk. Now the Reds are in business. Runners at first and second. And nobody out. And the batter is Ron Oster. Now we got to make a decision. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not going to wait to take him out. Now I have to take him out. Because now the tying run is on deck. It is now a save situation. So I will take him out now. And we'll bring in a closer. And that will be, for the Astros, it'll be Dave Smith. 2 walks. Hook him, Kevin Cash, yeah. Dave Smith will come on and close because now the tying run is on deck. I'm sorry, tying run is in the hole, but still. Dave Smith will now come on for the Astros. He was 9-5, 2.27 ERA. He had 27 saves. Nobody out here, top of the 9th inning. Reds got something cooking. Can Dave Smith close this game out now? Tough. 19. Double for Ron Oster. That is a double. Krenchicki will score. Concepcion. Opposite field shot. So that's an opposite field hit into left field. All runners score. Krenchicki will score. Concepcion will score. Oster to second. This game is not over. And it's now 7-4. Oster on at second base, and still nobody out here on the top of the 9th. Oh, my. Oster on at second. The runs will be charged to Scott. And the batter now is the catcher, Dave Van Gorder, who came in for Billardello as the new catcher. So he will go up against Dave Smith here with nobody out in the top of the 9th. Now 7-4. Dave Smith's going to have to do some work. Oster on at second. Smith's pitch. In play, 75. Fly ball center field. That'll get caught by Mumphrey. And that's out number 1. Oster holds at second. Tom Hume, the pitcher, he will come out. We'll see a pinch hitter. And since it's the ninth inning, I now go by the best statistic I can find, and that's going to be Tony Perez. He will pinch hit against Smith. He bats .322 against Wrights in 85. Better late than never, a Steeler fan finally joins in. Your Astros are leading 7-4, top of the ninth inning, but the Reds got already 2 runs. They were ahead 7-2. Dave Smith now trying to close the game. Mike Scott pitched beautifully, but he ran out of gas. Perez the batter. Smith in play 22. Single for Tony Perez. That's a sharp liner that drops in front of the left fielder. Oster will only move to third. He will hold. Runners at the corners for Eddie Milner. And still 1 out. Tying run now on deck. They're asking Dave Smith to try to close this game. The Reds are not going quietly. As I've been telling my chat here, Steeler fan, the Astros are trying to get payback for something that happened 9 years in the future. They're trying to make them pay for something that hasn't happened yet. Runners at first and third. Eddie Milner, the batter now against Smith. 1 out. Top of the ninth, 7-4 now. Smith the pitch. It's a defense check, 40. Range check to first base. The ball is hit to Walling. His range is a C. He's not going to make the play. It's going to be a hit. And it's going to go down the line. It's a double. It's a double. It's a 2-base double. Oster will score. Perez will go to third. Milner to second. Milner to second. It's now 7-5. And the tying run is at the plate in Pete Rose with 1 out. And I might have to take Dave Smith out. What do you think, Steeler fan? Do I let Dave Smith pitch or do I yank him? These are your Astros. Your game is suddenly on the line here. What do you think, Steeler fan? Let Dave Smith try to close the game or hook him? What do you think, Matt? It's your team. Says leave him in. I will do so. Okay. Runners at second and third. Pete Rose is the batter. The tying run is now on at second. The tying run is now on at second base. And I'm afraid to, and I don't want to walk Pete Rose and deal with Dave Parker. So they're going to pitch to Rose. The infield is going to stay back. 1 out. Top of the ninth. It was 7-2. It's now 7-5. Smith will pitch. In play, 75. Ground ball to second base. Ground ball to second base. They're going to get that out. Pete Rose. That's going to be a ground out. No double play chance. So Perez will score. Milner goes to third, but there are now 2 outs. As Perez came in as a pinch hitter, Milner to third, and now it is 7-6. And the batter is Dave Parker. Now I'm going to make another choice. Now, it's now 7-6. Tying run is at third base. The infield is normal. I'll give you an option, Steeler fan. It's your team. Dave Parker, as you can tell by his average, what he can do here. Okay. Cesar Cedeno is the guy after him. Do I walk Dave Parker and pitch to Cedeno, or do I pitch to Parker and take a chance that Parker smacks a 1-96 homer? Walk Parker or pitch against him? He would be the go-ahead run if he goes on first base. What do you think, Steeler fan? Walk him. Okay, so we will intentionally walk Parker, and we'll pitch to Cesar Cedeno. So the go-ahead run is on first base. Dave Smith will pitch to Cedeno with 2 outs here, top of the 9th, 7-6. The Astros trying to get a little payback for what happened in 1994. Of course, these teams don't know that yet. Cedeno is 1 for 4. Dave Smith trying to close it. The Reds are not going quietly. Here's the pitch. It's an in-play 68. It's a ground ball to second base. Played by Doran. He's got it. He will throw to shortstop, covering second. That will do it. The Astros escape with the win. Ball game. Four runs on 3 hits and 3 walks, but the Astros win the game 7-6. Oh my, that was close. I'll give you a final line score here in a second. For the Astros, 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. For the Reds, 6 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Mike Scott does get the win, Tibbs the loss, and Dave Smith gets the save, although he really shouldn't get credit for it, but he does. As the Astros now go to 10-3, and just to let you know, by the way, yeah, your Astros are 10-3. They are now 2-0 in payoff pitch play. So obviously the 85 Astros might play a little better. Now let's see how they did tomorrow. As we now go to Cincinnati and Houston. So the Astros win this game 7-6. And now we'll go to tomorrow, Cincinnati, Houston for tomorrow's game. And that's going to be a win for the Astros. They will win tomorrow as well, 8-6. And the Astros are off to a great start in this 85 replay. Tomorrow's game will be the Milwaukee Brewers versus the Chicago White Sox. And I'll be posting standings in Payoff Pitch Gamers Network tonight, so be on the lookout for it, as well as the next block of games. Wow, that was fun. That could have went either way, but it's the Astros still doing the job. Anyway, Steeler fam, Sebastian Stratt, Bob B., Larry Harris, thank you all for joining me. This is what we got scheduled for tomorrow. We have game number 16 of Inside Pitch 77 one and gone. The New York Mets are at the Boston Red Sox, and tomorrow night, here at Payoff Pitch 85, the Milwaukee Brewers will take on the 1994 World Series champion Chicago White Sox, although they don't know that yet. Stay safe, healthy, smart, and strong, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Take care, everyone. Love all of you.